The salt chlorine generator, or salt system, has been popular for some years now. It differs from a traditional system because instead of adding chlorine to the water, you add salt. In this capsule, we will explain how to install and use the AquaTrol salt chlorine generator for above-ground pools. Before you purchase a salt chlorinator, make sure that your pool is compatible with this type of system. Ask your Sima dealer if you are not sure. How to install an AquaTrol salt system in 5 easy steps. Designed to meet the sanitation needs of most above-ground pools, the AquaTrol salt system consists of an enclosure and an electrolytic cell called the turbo cell. Before making any modifications to the circulation system, please ensure that the pump is switched off and that the water return is blocked so that the water cannot drain out during the operation. Unscrew the adapter that connects the flexible hose to the pool return fitting and replace it with the right-angle cell attachment adapter supplied with the system. Attach the cell to the right-angle fixing adapter. Then, use the fittings supplied to attach the lower part of the cell to the flexible hose or PVC pipe, as the case may be, coming from the pool's filtration system. Tighten all union nuts by hand until a watertight seal is formed. Refer to the manufacturer's installation manual for further information and installation diagrams. The AquaTrol is housed in a rainproof enclosure, which must be installed at a minimum horizontal distance of 2 meters from the pool and at a maximum distance of 5 meters to respect the length of the cell wire. It is designed to mount vertically on a flat surface. The next 3 steps require the services of a professional electrician. Power must be shut off at the circuit breaker before performing any wiring. The AquaTrol has been designed to easily wire into typical above-ground pool systems. Remember that the electrical outlet must be equipped with a GFCI device as required by the Canadian Electrical Code. The terminals required for equipotential bonding are attached to the underside of the enclosure. Fixed to the base of the enclosure, they must be connected to the pool's electrical system using a 6 AWG copper cable, available from most hardware stores. Connect the cell cable to the AquaTrol enclosure. How to operate your AquaTrol salt system. Once the installation is complete, take a water sample to your Sima dealer for analysis. You'll also be told how many bags of salt you'll need, depending on the amount of water in your pool. It's important to use only 99% sodium chloride, NaCl, the salt for chlorine generators available from your dealer. Distribute the salt evenly over the entire surface of the pool. Stir the salt at the bottom of the pool to speed up the dissolving process and prevent it from accumulating at the bottom of the pool. Run the filter pump for 24 hours with suction from the main drain to allow the salt to disperse evenly throughout the pool. You can now switch the system on. The salt display may take 24 hours to respond to the change in salt concentration. For normal operation of the salt system, leave the main switch in the auto position. During a period of heavy use, heavy rainfall, or cloudy water, set the main switch to superchlorinate. The system will produce chlorine continuously for 24 hours. At the end of the superchlorinate period, the system will return to generating chlorine at the set percentage indicated by the desired level percent dial. The off position temporarily prevents the AquaTrol system from activating the electrolytic cell. Chlorine is therefore no longer produced. Finally, the desired level percent dial is used to adjust the amount of chlorine generated by AquaTrol. To find the optimum desired flow setting, start with 50%. Test the chlorine concentration every few days and adjust the setting if necessary. It usually takes a few adjustments to find the optimum setting for your pool. Once you have determined the ideal percent output desired setting, you may need to increase it if the pool water temperature rises significantly, if there is a higher than normal bather load, or if your chlorinator cell is aging. You may need to lower the setting if the pool water temperature falls significantly, or if there are long periods of inactivity. It is important to continue testing your water on a regular basis. The salt chlorine generator works with the same water balance parameters as ordinary chlorine, and chlorine is very sensitive to pH variations. It is important to balance your water chemicals so that it remains clear and healthy for a more enjoyable swimming experience. If the pool is covered with a solar cover for a long period of time, be sure to lower chlorine production, as chlorine evaporates less when the solar cover is in place. Too much chlorine could build up and damage the equipment. Light indicators. Power. This light is always on when the AquaTrol system is operating. Generation. The green light comes on when the chlorinator is operating normally. If it is flashing, check the other red or yellow lights that are on to continue the diagnosis. The generation light is only on when the machine is generating chlorine. This time varies according to the production percentage selected. Superchlorinate. The green indicator lights up when the superchlorinate mode is activated. No flow. This light only applies to salt systems for in-ground pools. On a system for above-ground pools, this light will flash for a few seconds when the appliance is switched on and then disappear. Test salt level. When this red light flashes, the salt level is low or below 2,700 ppm. If it lights up continuously, chlorine production has stopped. Before adding a large quantity of salt, have a Sima expert check the salt level in the water. They will be able to tell you exactly how much salt to add. High salt. When this red light comes on, the salt concentration is too high and the AquaTrol chlorinator has stopped working. Partially drain the pool and refill with fresh water. Check cell. This light flashes every 500 hours of chlorine generation by the appliance. It indicates that it is time to inspect the cell to make sure there is no scale on the plates. The system remains in operation, but this is only a visual indication that the owner should carry out a visual inspection. Switch off the pump and cut the power to the AquaTrol system before removing the electrolytic cell. Look inside for signs of scaling, crumbly or flaky whitish-colored deposits. If deposits are present, clean your cell with a cleaner available from your Sima dealer. It is normally advisable to clean your cell in spring or autumn. Replace the cell. Press the Diagnostics button for 10 seconds to make the flashing indicator go out. If it is on continuously, the AquaTrol system has stopped producing chlorine. If the light goes out, the system has refreshed itself after the 500 hours of use. If the light remains on, take the cell to your Sima dealer for an assessment. Diagnostic display. The easy-to-read control panel displays all the AquaTrol data. Simply press the Diagnostics button next to the screen to read the data. Salt concentration. When you open the enclosure, the data displayed is the amount of ppm salt stored in your system, which should be between 2,700 and 3,400 ppm. This is the average salt level. Water temperature. You can change the display from Celsius to Fahrenheit by flipping the switch to superchlorinate and then back to auto. This will also change the salt concentration reading from ppm to grams per liter. System voltage. This should read between 23 and 27 volts. If the figure is below 23 or higher than 27, switch off the salt system and contact your Sima dealer. System amperage. The reading should be between 1 and 5 amperes. A lower value indicates a problem, such as scaling on the cell or a cell at the end of its life. Take it to your Sima dealer for diagnosis. Chlorine production percentage. This percentage, from 1 to 100 depending on the configuration, is directly linked to the chlorine production. It is a more precise display of the level as set with the desired production percent dial. Current salt concentration in water. This data represents the water's instantaneous salt concentration. It is used to calculate the average salt level. To reset the average salt concentration, you can slide the knob from auto to superchlorinate and back to auto. This will clear the average salt level in the water and replace it with the current concentration. The average concentration calculation will restart at this point for greater accuracy. Now that your AquaTrol salt chlorine generator has been installed and you have it up and running, you can enjoy healthy, clear water all summer long.